Well, Davita's son, Garth, sent a letter and asked it to be read today. So Carol is going to read Garth's letter.
My cousin Jerry was one of a kind and the last of his generation. A bon vivant, a raconteur, a teacher, a pianist, a bridge player, an author, a teacher, a husband, a father, and a person who seemingly had a smile and good word to say about everyone. A soldier whose typing skills kept America safe. Jerry was family. Jerry was about family. Jerry was about loving what life gave and giving back to others. Thanksgiving was a special time for me and my immediate family. We would drive up from St. Louis, 6 hours long in a station wagon. Yes, dinner at Nate and Alice's, that's my parents, was special. Watching football games at Nate and Alice's was special. But frankly, the most fun was staying with Jerry, Dorleen, and Cindy in the big basement on Kildare. Even if much of the time was Jerry, Dorleen, and my parents playing cards to very late hours. Jerry had a way to make you feel special. I distinctly remember Jerry hearing that I was, like many teens, interested in creative writing. Took out a story he was working on and carefully went over the first paragraph, explaining how each word and sentence worked to create a special image. A key phrase was about a character's hands and how their condition revealed so much about that character. He treated me in a way that felt special and connected. So, not just a cousin, family. He was always glad to see us and me. He celebrated my accomplishments as much as if he had made them. Never shy, always expressive, always family. So let us not speak of bad jokes, bad clothes, and bad toupees. Let me say I will not miss Jerry because my memories are vivid, that I will continue to hear his voice, his encouragement, his caring. He will always be there, always be family.
We're going to tell a few anecdotes about Uncle Jerry, and we're going to give you a couple of his quotes. I think I'll start because we had the military honor guard. Wasn't that special?
Yes.
I have to thank Rago Brothers Funeral Home. They made our life so much easier. They put the obituary in the paper for us on the online version, which we will send all of you. And they arranged for the honor guard, which I never would have thought of. But he was in the military from 51 to 59. And he was a court reporter. He was a translator. He was stationed in Japan as a translator. He was a court reporter in Hawaii. But he did go through basic training. And when he went through basic training, my Uncle Jerry believed deeply in taking naps. He still does. This is a family that naps all the time. He used to say, if everyone in the world would take naps, we wouldn't have any wars. So he told the story where he was at machine gun training, and they were all lined up in a row, and they would wait, and they would get called. You know, they'd say, Jones, come up, and then Jones would come up and shoot the machine gun, and they'd go the next. Well, when they got to Uncle Jerry, they go, Jaffe, and he was sleeping. So the guy pokes him and says, Jaffe, you're up. Okay. That's what a good napper Uncle Jerry was. Oh, Uncle Jerry had his sense of humor till the end. He really did. I remember one conversation where Cindy was explaining to him all of the different options of his health care. And she kept saying, do you understand, Dad? Do you understand what I'm saying? And she said, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this. And he would go, yes, I do. She said, do you really understand, Dad? And he went, yes. And she said, well, do you have any questions? And he said, quote, will I still be able to So he was there most of the time, sometimes not there, but he was there enough for the last time I was here, and I said, listen, Uncle Jerry, make up your mind, I can't keep coming to Chicago every time you're gonna die. So he laughed, and this is after his stroke, so he said, strained, he said, I will try to schedule it better next time. And he did that. He really was totally with it till the end. The last day, he was enjoying the poems that I read him so much. And we were singing, and he was mouthing the words. Because I said, your mother used to sing to your father, you made me love you, I didn't want to do it. And he goes, so he was delightful from the first time we met him to the last time. He was that uncle, the uncle who would take you to Riverview, who would go to Hawaii and bring back grass skirts. Not just bring back grass skirts, but teach you how to do the hula while he did the war dance, and we pretended to do the hula. And to the very end, at the end of every Hawaiian song, we would go, Tolima Nani like this. And so that was the way Carol and I said goodbye to him every time. Tolima Nani. Your turn. Pick one.
Jerry said that he had a depression mentality, and that was his excuse for when we went to restaurants. He would take all of the jelly packets, all of the sugar packets, the creamers, the toothpicks, you name it. He had a huge
Mugs.
collection.
Even mugs.
Anything that wasn't nailed down. The last time I took him to a restaurant, we had kind of a escargot on a fondue thing. And after the waiter left, he said, can I take that home? I said, no, Uncle Jerry. He said, you think they'll miss it? I said, yes, that's what we ordered. They are going to miss it. And he said, okay.
This was the fondue pot he wanted to take home.
He designed women's clothing. He was a beautician. He and my mother opened a beauty shop on 87th Street
It was called the Enchantress Number 6. And the reason it was called the Enchantress Number 6 was because he wanted everybody to think that there was an Enchantress 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
You know, if anyone would like to come up and say anything, we are welcoming you. And while you think about it, I'm going to thank a few people. First of all, thank you, of course, to Cindy for her devotion. She has been with him for 10 years and has loved every minute of it. Secondly, of course, and I named her before, is Marlene. Believe it or not, she has a name, Marlene Yaya, for 25 years, who took care of the family. I'd like to thank Nadine again and Debbie, two cousins who have always been there for her, and the elegance, Bruce, who has been there every time she calls with advice and words of wisdom. And we will also probably wind up telling more stories at the restaurant if you are able to join us. We are going directly to Max and Benny's afterwards in Northbrook. And this is the tree of Nadine. I was looking for you. Nadine, thank you so much for treating all of us. I also want to thank Sinai Temple and Rabbi Green. And Cindy has asked that donations in lieu of flowers or anything else be sent to the congregation Temple Sinai. Thank you, Rabbi Green. Good. I think, is there anyone who might want to say anything? I know it's always odd and awkward and everything, but feel free, we're all family. Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Hey, Jerry. of the stories that I just want to share is Gail mentioned that Jerry and Alice had a beauty shop on 87th Street. And my mother would go there to get her hair done because Jerry had the formula to make it blonde the way she wanted it. And after Dorleen was single, my mom said to Jerry, I have somebody to introduce you to. And that's how Dorleen and Jerry met. And it's just, he was a wonderful person. Everybody talks about how creative he was. If Jerry saw something, his hands could make it, or his mind could do it. You know, Evelyn Wood's speed reading class, or, you know, whatever. Sand painting. He taught my sister Linda how to do sand painting, and to this day she has it framed in her house. And so, on behalf of the Elliott family, I just want to say that may his memory be a blessing to us all.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you, Bruce.
Perfect story. Let's give it.
Hi, I'm Gene Hyman. Busy. I'm a cousin of Jerry, but I always called him Uncle Jerry because I always felt close to him. I'll just share a brief story, not even a story. We were at Omega Restaurant. No, not Omega, that was, I won't go there. We were at a bar, retirement home, and my mother was there, and Dallas was there, his sister, obviously, and dad. And they'd have, in the beginning, they'd have these buffets, and they'd have orange juice and tomato juice, and it was so delicious, more than that, I've never had it that good, because it was made fresh anyway. I'd bring it to the table, and Uncle Jerry said, I want one of those. So I brought him. He adored me, and I adored him. It was mutual. And he always would say to me when we went to a Omega Restaurant with the family, Gene, is there anything you need? Every single time I was there, he'd always ask me, and he was sincere. I said, no, Uncle Jerry. But it hit me at my heart because I felt really close to him. Although the miles were, he wanted me to visit him more, and I was afraid to go to Chicago. I watched the news all the time. That's another story. Otherwise, I would have gone to Lincoln Park more. I would have visited. But he's been an inspiration, and he's a genius. He still is a genius in heaven. He knew everything. When he was younger, he would tell stories about the world. He knew things about the world. He could be a president, easily the president, because he knew everything about every country. The minute details, that's how brilliant he was. So I love you, Uncle Jerry, and behave yourself in heaven. Thank you.
As Gail shared, continue to tell these stories, continue to share these memories. It's indeed how you will keep Jerry with all of you and keep his memory alive. How many of you in this room called Jerry Uncle Jerry? Keep your hands up if he was actually your Uncle Jerry. Yeah. Right? Because so many people felt like he was their uncle, he was their family member. He cared for them just like you care for each other. Continue to care for Cindy. Cindy, these people will continue to care for you and be there for you and live the best value that Jerry Jaffe taught each and every one of you here, which is the value of family and friendship. So as you make your way this afternoon to Max and Benny's, continue to tell those stories and maybe even take one of the jellies or the creams, put it in your purse. Continue to do that when you're at restaurants and with or tell the Jerryisms, whatever the one-liners he had were. I invite you, if you are able, to please rise for our concluding memorial prayers. Al-Malay Rachamim, Shofei Babromim, Kamse Menucha Nechona Tachat Kanfei Hashchina, Im Kedoshimu Tohorim Kizohar Harakia Mazhirim, Et Nishmat Jerry Jaffe, Shehalach Le'olamo, Ba'al HaRachamim Yastirehu Beseter Kenafav Le'olamim, Vitror HaChaim Et Nishmato, Adonai Hu Nachalato Ve'yanuach B'Shalom Al Mishkavo V'Nomar Amen. God of abundant mercy, God most high, may the soul of our loved one who has gone into eternity find the gift of perfect peace in your embrace with the holy and pure, whose light shines like the radiance of heaven. Compassionate God, hold Jerry close to you forever, so that his soul be bound up in the bond of life eternal. May he find a home with you, and may Jerry rest in peace, and together let us say, Amen.
Amen.
If you know the words of the mourner's Kaddish, I'll invite you to join with me in reciting these words. Yit Gadal, Yit Gadash, Shmei Rabbah, Be'alma, Debarach, Hirutei, V'amliv Malchutei, B'chayachon, U'yomechon, U'b'chayei B'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'gala, U'v'izman Kariv V'imru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah, Be'barach, Le'olam Olmei Almaya, Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitromam, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal, Shemei Kudashah, Bariku, Le'elam, Minkol, Birchata, V'shirata, Tushbechata, V'nachamata, Za'amiram, V'alma, V'imru, Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba, Min Shemaya, V'chaim Aleinu, V'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. Say Shalom B'romav, Huya Aseh Shalom, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'imru, Amen. Zichrono Livracha, may Jerry's memory always be for an abiding blessing. And let us all